Hello class. Today we will be going over how to subtract using whole numbers. Our plan is that we want the students to have fun while challenging themselves to subtract. Our 3-day lesson plan covers a day of subtracting single digits along with an activity, another day covering subtracting double and even triple digit numbers along with an activity, and on the third day, it will consist of what is considered the more difficult, subtracting whole numbers in word problems, along with a smaller activity. The learning objectives are understanding the concept of subtraction, conducting a visual and deeper understanding of the topic to a younger audience, and solving real-world and mathematical problems involving subtraction, including situations with unknown parts or differences. The Common Core state standards that this hit is kindergarten, represent addition and subtraction with objects, fingers, mental images, drawings, sounds, acting out situations, verbal explanations, expressions, or equations. Today we will be doing a lot of objects, drawings, and mental images. Another one that this related to was a first grade standard, using addition and subtraction within 20 to solve word problems involving situations of adding to, taking from, putting together, taking apart, and comparing with unknowns in all positions. By using objects, drawings, and equations with a symbol for the unknown number to represent the problem is how we will be using this. On the first day, we will be subtracting single-digit whole numbers. This day will focus on the very basics of subtraction. Not quite touching on regrouping or exchanging yet, as that will happen later when we get into double-digit and triple-digit numbers. We will have the students start by reviewing some addition to highlight the differences between addition and subtraction. We will then demonstrate and explain how to solve subtraction problems. The students will be taught how to use things like blocks or counters to represent a subtraction problem. For example, 7 minus 3. We will start by displaying a number of counters. These counters will total up to 7, and as we ask the students to take away 3, we will demonstrate that by taking away, you are fully removing 3 items. And that leaves us with a final answer of 3. 7 minus 3 equals 4. As we can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 counters remaining. After this, we will try another subtraction example, this one being a little trickier, as it might be hard to grasp the concept of 0. We will start by handing out a set number of counters. They will then be asked to make a group of 6. After they have these 6, they will then take away 6 counters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. After this, they will recognize that there are no counters left. This means that the number must be something less than 1, but greater than something they don't quite understand, like -1. This leads them to the answer 0.
For day 2, we're going to subtract with regrouping with 2 to 3 digit numbers. So on this day, students will move beyond the single digit subtraction and begin practicing 2 to 3 digit subtraction using the regrouping method. We will introduce subtraction problems that require regrouping, also known as borrowing, and then demonstrate step by step how to solve them. So the 2 examples we're going to use is 74 minus 38 and 203 minus 125. So we will model examples on the board, and then we'll highlight how and when regrouping is needed. Then the students will work through problems of their own to see if they gain confidence with subtracting with larger numbers. Because in the beginning, they're not too confident on themselves. And then for the activity, the students will rotate through subtraction stations. They will focus on the 2 to 3 digit problems. And then each station will present a new set of challenges. And at the final station, they'll solve a mystery number riddle using subtraction with regrouping to unlock the answer. And then for the examples right here, how they're going to do it is they're first going to start with the one place. So you can't generally do 3 minus 5, so they're going to have to regroup. So first they're going to have to borrow from the tens, which is 0. And then they have to weigh because we also need to borrow from the hundreds. So the 2 becomes 1, the 0 becomes 9, and the 3 becomes a 13. And then we're going to use this, and they're going to subtract it. So 13 minus 5 is 8, then 9 minus 2 is 7, then 1 minus 1 is 0. So I'll take these two, and the answer would be 78. Same thing over here, but with 2-digit numbers this time. So we 74 minus 38. So first they will start with the ones place. So they can't obviously do 4 minus 8. So they're going to have to regroup. So they're going to have to borrow 1 from the 7. That becomes a 6. And then 4 becomes a 14. So then in step 2, they're going to get 38. They're going to subtract 14 with 8, which is 63. And then 6 minus 3 equals 3. Then their final answer will be 36. So that will be what they will be doing on day 2.
So the mathematical practices that are best hit throughout our 3-day lessons are reasoning abstractly and quantitatively, or as well as make sense of problems and persevere in solving them. Some common misconceptions is the order of the numbers, like an addition. It doesn't matter, right? This is a misconception because the order matters much more in subtraction rather than addition. We would address this through teaching how important it is that the second number is being taken away from the first number and that it cannot be switched. Or if it's in double digits or triple digits, then these numbers are supposed to be in a specific order or pattern in order to subtract correctly, and that way giving us our correct results. When we subtract double digits as whole numbers, you don't ever need to regroup though. There are many ways in subtraction where it is hard to understand when and where to regroup. This can be addressed through concrete models that display the need for regrouping and exchanging. So, for day 3 of our lesson plan, we will be focusing on word problems. Word problems is a good way to explain to students how to solve real world problems, while also understanding what is asked of them in terms of problem solving. So to day-to-day lives, you always need to subtract, and in word problems, it will help them take and try to think about why there's a need for subtraction, and in that corresponds with also being able to identify when subtraction is needed. For example, let's take 1-digit subtraction, right? Tyler has 8 slices of pizza. He gave his friend 3 slices of that pizza. How many slices does he have left? With this example, students will be able to analyze and also drawing out the problem of what is being asked of. It helps in terms of analyzing and breaking down what is specifically asked. So in this occasion, Tyler has 8 slices of pizza, so we can draw 8 slices of pizza in total, a giant circle with 8 slices, and take away 3. We can draw an X on 3 of those slices of pizza and count what is left. And this will be a great way for students to understand that taking away would just be a pattern and analyze the correct way to subtract. A harder example, let's say double digit subtraction, would be Liam had 42 marbles. He gave 18 marbles to his cousin. How many marbles does Liam have now? Of course, it's going to take a long time to draw 42 marbles. So in this case, we can split them up as analyzing which one would go first. Liam has 42 marbles. The total will always go first. So in this case, 42, and then 18 marbles after that. So if we draw them in little groups, if we were to draw 2 boxes, right? We would put 4 circles in one box and two circles in the other box, right? To make 42. Now, if we add 18, we would add 1 marble to the box that already has 4. Put them there because of place values. So then the 8 would have to go in the second box, and the 1 would have to go in the first box because of the place values. And a 3-digit one, a library has 325 books, and after donating 148 of them, how many books are left in the library? So of course it's asking 320, that in total we have 325. We donated 148, and of course we could still use the same method as I previously described in the place values. We draw 3 boxes in this scenario, and then based off their place values, we put them in those boxes. So a great class activity that we can do in class in order to explain word problems and subtraction would be playing shopping. In this case, by shopping, I mean having multiple fruits, plastic, resembling fruit or resembling real world products, and grabbing 3 of them, and maybe using a student as an example of a shopper or as a cashier, and just asking them, if I have 3 of these, if I have 3 bell peppers or 3 strawberries, and I were to give you 1 of them, how much would I have left? Or if you were asking me 3 of them and I can only give you 2, how many are you missing? And this takes me back to the beginning of subtracting whole numbers. I hope you learned something and you can implement this in your classes. Of course, the things would change depending on the day, but overall, this would be your lesson plan.